Today's broadcast is brought to you by Ruffin Law Firm, taking care of your legal needs with a strong commitment to excellence. Make an appointment by calling the law office at 252-794-5232. Welcome to the hottest new podcast in the nation. What you are about to hear will stimulate your ears. We're talking news, relationships, entertainment, and occasional answers to your questions from the mailbag.
I want the attraction when I'm in the club. I want you to want me, just want your love. Till the morning light, in the morning.
This is another hectic production. All right, and we are back with our third episode of Systenomics. What's up, y'all?
Hey John, what's up?
Hey, how was your week? How was you guys' week? Or your day? You don't want to talk about your week? How was your day?
Well, my weekend, my day has been filled with moving. I started, was it Saturday, y'all? I started moving.
No, you started
Friday.
Friday.
Mm-hmm. And I'm still moving today. And today is what, Tuesday?
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
I hate moving.
yeah, but I saw the before and after pictures, and like I told you, I'm gonna start calling you the house whisperer because it looks good. What you've done so far looks really good. And Asada, you've seen it in person. I haven't made it over yet, but from what I can tell, like I said, whenever I become a homeowner again, you are going to be or have put your stamp on the decorating.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's done a magnificent job from where it was to where it is now. I mean, it's amazing. But you always want to keep doing, and it's that one more thing you see you want to get done. But I know I applaud you because I hate moving. Hate it. Detest it.
Me too. Well, I'm just gonna talk about my day. I got some faux locs today, y'all.
Got some what?
What?
Faux locs.
Oh,
Faux
faux locks. Oh, but you need to
Oh.
send a picture so we can to see how they look.
Are they long?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're extremely long and
Really?
Yes.
like down to your butt.
Yes. And I'm just
Wait a minute,
gonna
which
tell you.
one?
Right.
What do you mean which one? Which butt?
The
No,
length or to
or
your butt?
to your butt.
It's like down to my lower back.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
You
Yeah.
gotta send a picture.
I
Yeah.
will later.
Okay.
I can tell you this, there's a lot of hair on my head and there's a bald horse somewhere running around. Oh gosh. So I've been wearing my fro since like the end of March. And so I'm just waiting to get to work tomorrow for everyone to look at me like and their eyebrows just fly off their head because it's a totally different look. And it's
Those
heavy.
are probably cute. Yeah, I'm sure it's cute though. I mean, if they're done right,
Yeah.
faux locks look good.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, they'll grow on me, and then once your scalp is always really sore at first. But I think it'll wear off.
How long did it take you?
Only a couple of hours, probably about a good 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Crocheting is the way to go. I mean, they're quick. I would never get real faux locks because they do the individual pieces of hair. They have to braid the hair. And then they have to wrap the faux lock around the hair and do all this kind of stuff. It takes like 8 hours to do.
So what did you do?
I crochet. That's where they cornrow your hair in a pattern, and then they use a crochet needle, so to speak.
Wow.
Yeah, and they pull the faux lock hair has a loop on the end, and they pull the loop through your cornrow, and then they run the actual faux lock through the loop, and they lock it. They like pull it tight.
Oh, cool.
So in entertainment news, Gabrielle Union is suing BET.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. So this was the deal. The contract that she originally negotiated with them says that she was supposed to record no more than 10 shows in a season, right? And so the
I
first...
think
it's
the maximum
it's 13. You're right.
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 Uh-huh.
13. So seasons 1 and 2, they did 8 and then 12.
Okay.
And then in season 3, they did 10 and 10, but they made her an executive producer and gave her a raise. Well, apparently now BET is up in the ante and they're trying to do seasons 4 and 5 back to back, recording 10 shows each season, making her total 20.
Right.
But you just said they did that for season 2 as well?
No. For season 3, I think they just recorded 10, but they made her executive producer, which raised her income per show.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, and so now what she's very upset and she's suing for $1 million in damages.
But you know why, right? Because basically if they do 10 and then turn around and do 10 more, BET is saying they only have to pay her the season 4 salary because she's shooting all the shows in season 4. Whereas
They're trying to do 2 for 1.
Right. Her contract called for one set salary per episode for season 4. And then a higher salary per episode for season 5.
Yes, it's
what
100. It's $150,000 for season 4 and $165,000 per episode for season 5.
So that's what she's so upset about.
Well, I did the math, and this is how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
At $150,000 per episode, I will sub in like they do on the soap operas, and the fans would be highly upset. But you will turn on Being Mary Jane and you'll hear the announcer say, "Tonight, Mary Jane is being played by Joan Sharp McCullough." I will, man.
I mean, yeah, for us, $150,000 an episode, it's like, what? I can't believe you fussing about this. But for her, as a celebrity, part of what they have to do is maintain their brand. If they allow the network to devalue their brand, and when she tries to go in for another contract negotiation, they'll be like, well, you let BET pay you this, so why are you asking for, you see what I'm saying?
Right. Well, the article that I read said that the main reason why she wanted to keep the number of episodes at a limit was so that she'd have time to work in film, and that's understandable.
Yeah, because I understand she really didn't even want to do the series. She wanted to concentrate on film, but they tried to do whatever they could do to, make it so lucrative for her that she, basically couldn't refuse. And so,
well, Gabrielle, if you are listening and you lose, whatever happens, I will sub in for you. Okay, the ratings might take a hit, but I will do what I have to do.
With your faux locs.
I got your back.
Girl, go sub in for Gabrielle.
Had Mary Jane.
I tell you.
Sharp McCullough.
Okay.
But I'm gonna need that guy, the boyfriend from season 1 and 2, the one that dove in the pool.
You need him.
I need him to come back and co-star with me.
So you're going to take the 150 and have stipulations on who has to be co-starring with you.
Right.
It's just better her.
It's just
I don't feel comfortable acting with him. I want him.
I want that one.
And in other entertainment news, a judge has sided with Future in the defamation lawsuit with Ciara. Y'all know about that lawsuit?
Did he throw the suit out, or what did he say? Because I didn't see that.
I think the gist of it is he basically said that there wasn't enough evidence for defamation against Ciara
to show
that she didn't show damages.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
most people don't understand that. I mean, it is hard to prove a defamation suit because you have to show that what was said actually caused you to lose money or to have some kind of negative result that, And that's a very hard thing to show.
Okay, so apparently what she was alleging actually was that the hurtful or mean tweets and other things that he put out about her was hurting her career. And he was saying some terrible things. Well, not really terrible, but it was just some instances where he would see pictures of Russell pushing his son or his child. Is it a boy or a girl?
Boy.
Okay, pushing his son around, and he was just saying she probably staged the picture. She probably called the paparazzi to set up the photo shoot. And he was like, she's got control problems and leave my son out of, your schemes or what have you.
Who cares? Like, really?
Well, that one, but two, I mean, okay,
so what?
Right. She's dating Future. I mean, she knew what kind of person he was, and she had to expect that he would do something like this or take to Twitter, like that. And so I don't know what she thought, I don't know. People like doing stuff like that.
I was surprised when they started dating. I was like, they don't match.
Like Bobby and Whitney.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of like that, Bobby and Whitney.
But I have to say I'm on Future's side because I blog about very personal things, and I feel like it's my right to do that. And so what is she upset about? Because he's voicing his opinion on his Twitter page? That's his right, And I don't understand. I think she makes it worse by blowing it out of proportion, suing him in court, and basically not being able to show that she was damaged as a result. Her feelings are hurt. I get that. But I think he's perfectly within his right to tweet whatever he wants to tweet. She wants the court to shut him down and say, you cannot talk about family issues. You cannot talk about this. You have to remove your tweets. And I think that's stretching to ask a court to order him to do those things. She did, though, as far as damages are concerned, because when I read the first article, it was saying she didn't prove damage. So I looked at a couple of other articles, and she did allege that she lost a $500,000 contract with the cosmetic company as a result of his tweets. But I don't know that she was able to really show that it was the tweets that caused her to lose the contract.
Right.
And I mean, to be honest, like, I don't think I've heard from Ciara since Body Party. As far as your career, like, get in the studio.
Do what?
I'm saying I haven't heard her make any music since Body Party.
Music.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Music. I mean, I
Well, no, she did the song where she kind of, in my opinion, probably took a dig at Future. The song I Bet, when she talks about she bet he's going to love her once she finds somebody new, somebody better, and how she upgraded him. I think that song was directed at Future.
It probably was. I actually like she and Russell together. I mean, I think they seem to be a good couple, but yeah, it's like you said, it's really hard to prove defamation.
Yeah, it's his right to tweet whatever he wants on his page.
I know, right?
I go back to, early on in a relationship, kind of the level or how someone, flows. I mean, she knew he was like this. So I don't see where she was all surprised that when they broke up and it was kind of nasty that he wasn't going to take to Twitter. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know if people knew I would blog about stuff I blog about. They know now, but
yeah, they definitely know now, though.
Yeah, and saying that he's gonna do something, it's kind of subjective. You still would hope that the person.
But how
wouldn't.
is what he's doing any different from what she did by making a song about how she upgraded him? How he basically hurt her, but he's gonna regret the fact that he left her once she upgrades and finds somebody better than him. I don't see how it's any different.
Well, I'm not saying it's different. I'm not saying it's different. I'm just saying, like, when you say that how a person is before you go into something, we all jump into love blindly. We all have done that.
Well,
and
yeah,
it doesn't
sure
make
do.
it doesn't make it feel less hurtful. And this goes for both of them. This goes for both she and him and what they've done post breakup. But you always hope for the best, and you always know that people have their stuff with them. Doesn't make it hurt any less when things go wrong and they show out. And some other sad news to talk about in Hollywood this week. I guess you all know, and we all know now, that actor Tommy Ford from Martin passed away.
I know, I heard that. That was so sad.
Yeah.
He had an aneurysm or something, right?
Yeah, in his abdomen. Like,
Ew.
yeah, I've never heard of such. And they said he was hospitalized on Monday and he passed Wednesday. Man.
Yeah, so sad.
What's your favorite Tommy moment, though?
Yeah, I have to admit, like, I'm really sad because death is just a sad thing overall. But I guess I didn't do the whole candlelight vigil and, oh my God, Tommy is dead thing. I'm sorry for the loss, but I can't point to a favorite Tommy moment in Martin.
Have you ever watched Martin?
Don't try to play me, ma'am. Yes, I did.
Okay, now don't make me quiz you. Don't make me quiz you.
Tyrone in the house.
It's Jerome. It is Jerome. Oh my God.
Okay, so maybe I did.
You know what?
I cannot believe you are a black person that has never watched Martin.
Hey, when I see you again, Tanza, I am revoking your black card. I mean, I just want you
Oh
to
my
have it
God.
ready. I'm gonna do a traffic stop.
She said Tyrone in the house. I am weak. Over here.
When I said it, I was like, that doesn't sound right. You know how you're saying something and you're like,
Wait.
that's right.
Yeah, ooh. I just messed that one up.
And Tanza, I'm gonna be honest. I was trying not to. I wasn't gonna play you because I knew you hadn't seen the show. But thank you.
Martin, y'all. I just made it. Look, I'm over here like, I am black. I am.
For real. I'm glad. Oh, God.
Joan gotta bust me all out. She's like, wrong.
Oh,
I'm
God.
so weak right now. I can't get myself together. Oh God.
Okay, that y'all are funny,
Yeah.
Okay.
but I did see Martin before.
Okay. I don't know that I had a favorite Tommy moment. Just the whole, I think they really did a good job with the whole running gag of he never had a job.
Yes.
That was just so funny to me.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
And they all took jabs at him. You ain't got no job.
Yeah. And then, but did he ever work after Martin? I don't really remember.
That's what I was getting ready to say. What did you do after Martin?
After Martin, he ain't had no job. I think he may have done some minor things. In fact, I can find out before the next show so we can get that right. But I'm not sure if it was. I don't think it was anything extremely memorable.
Yeah, right. He never did anything big again that I remember. How old was he?
52.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I'm going to roll right into something happy. And Asada, I know that you are you still are a huge Prince fan. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, did you know that Thursday was Prince Day?
Somebody said something to me about it. That Thursday was Prince Day.
What?
In Minneapolis, the mayor declared it Prince Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe his sister opened up the house, Paisley Park, to the public, so people could go in and tour it, see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. They said that, like, in his office and stuff, they haven't touched anything at all. So it's like music and work and contracts and all that stuff is all on his desk and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see, I do like Prince. I have been reading about that.
Yeah. I totally didn't see any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I just recently, I'm really out with music, and anybody that knows me, Prince, Michael, of course, is my number one, and Prince is second, and it's like, times I hear you attempting to be sympathetic, but, you don't like Prince either, do you?
I like some of his music, but, I can't say I was a diehard Prince fan.
Well, he was just such a talented
Very talented
artist.
Man.
Yeah,
He was.
Talented.
Extremely talented.
With his high heels on.
Hey, he worked them heels now.
Yes.
I think Prince is a good example, probably the best example of a person who he just, you never knew really what he was, if he was gay or straight, but it didn't matter. Once he got up there and started performing, it was like, who cares?
Right. He rocked it. My favorite Prince songs have got to be 1999 and Adore.
Oh, I love the Adore.
Yeah, Adore was one of the best.
Adore will start some stuff. You hear me?
Yeah, I might have to add that to my playlist.
Yeah, the Adore is,
I'm not going to start singing because I might mess the words up.
Between Prince and Maxwell, a whole lot of people got pregnant between those two.
That's right. A lot of people listening right now probably were.
Yeah,
were born under those circumstances.
Right. A whole lot of people.
Okay, so last night on the Systonomics Facebook page, we had a Facebook dialogue, so to speak. And the question was posed, do we, and I should put in parentheses, do we as Black women have the right to be angry Black women? We got some good feedback, and I want to give shouts out to everyone or all the people who participated, particularly, Erica, Charlotte, thank you, Brent, Martin, Avery, Janice, Corey, thank you. You all gave some very compelling comments, and we're going to get into some of those comments in a little bit. But I want to give us an opportunity to talk about whether or not we have the right to be angry Black women.
So I think it depends on what you're referring to. When you initially posed the question, do we have the right to be angry Black women? My focus was narrow. It was in terms of relationship. That's how I was thinking about it. And my answer to that was no. I don't think we have a right to be angry Black women in terms of relationship. And the reason I don't think that we have the right to be angry Black women is because we're responsible ultimately for our happiness. And I think one of the gentlemen that was dialoguing on Facebook talked about that, because I asked him, well, do you think you should make your woman happy? Do you think you're responsible for her happiness? And he said, I can contribute, but she needs to be happy herself.
So
Yeah.
I remember that. And
Yeah.
I guess I was struck by, I read the Facebook back and forth. I did not contribute on Facebook because I guess to me the key question is, and I think one of the people responded said, what is she angry about?
Mm-hmm.
So because if you just say generally, do you have a right to be an angry Black woman? Well, sure, of course. You have a right to be whatever you want to be. But then it's like, and I think a female responded, anger is usually not a productive emotion.
Mm-hmm.
To me, somebody may say something to you or do something to you that does make you very, very angry. But to me, it's better to then channel that energy into something else, whether it's your job or something. Because if you're just sitting there being frustrated and mad at someone else, you're not really doing much or accomplishing much. You're just mad.
You got to work through it, though.
Right.
Channel it, but make sure you're working through it so that you don't stay in that place.
And I always take a out-of-the-box approach to things like this. I actually pulled that question from our brainstorming file cabinet, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of times a woman is perceived to be angry when she may be hurt,
Mm-hmm.
healing from being broken, not trusting love again, not trusting people, not letting people in. So my question was, is it perception? Women are usually tagged with a stigma. Black women being angry when they express attitude and when they say, well, I'm not putting up with this and I'm not doing that and I'm not, well, what experiences has she had to get her to that point where she's not taking it and she's saying, I'm not doing it, I'm not taking it, you can take that BS on back to your mom and them house or wherever it is you live and all this kind of stuff. I'm saying? It's life and experiences. And like Charlotte was saying, Black women have been angry since slavery. And I don't know if having a right to be is necessarily true. If we have a right to be, but the reality is a lot of us are. But don't get me wrong, now I'm happy. I have happy days. I'm not an angry Black woman. But if someone approaches me wrong or, puts me in a situation where I have to respond to them in a way that's assertive, then I could be perceived to be an angry Black woman.
But then that's stereotyping, right? Or that putting us in a box that others are not put in because they act aggressively or assertive when they're responding to some negative interaction. So if a white male has a negative interaction and he's assertive, he's not an angry white man, but because we have that reaction, we're angry Black women.
Yes.
That's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate, but that's how it is.
I don't know if I necessarily, I think that's a very broad generalization.
Well, it's been my experience. I have, in fact, one of the people that chimed in, we have gone toe to toe in debate. Yes, Avery, shout out to you, Avery Britt. You are my classmate, and I appreciate it. I was actually surprised at his response. I thought he was gonna go Captain Caveman on me, but he has given me some very good insight on, on the makeup of marriage and those type things. And what I was saying.
So are we talking about anger in terms of relationship. Is that what we're talking about? Like, because as Black women we're struggling in relationships, we don't have enough Black men available. There are a lot of single Black women because they decided not to settle and tolerate,
That's one
mediocrity.
that's one thing. That's one avenue, but then you've got socially and economically as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a woman is struggling in her pocketbook, that brings on a whole another form of stress when you're talking about entering into a relationship. If you don't have it together, then that affects how much you can contribute in a healthy way to a relationship as well. So I think anger can cover a whole spectrum of things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just me. I guess I always try to consider what are the underlying causes, what are the root causes that make people do the things that they do and say the things that they say and act the way that they do.
So give an example of somebody saying something and them being perceived as an angry Black woman.
Okay, let's say some guy gives you a cat call, comes at you sideways. Hey, baby, when you gonna let me fill in the blank?
Mm-hmm. So if I act offended by that or I say something to that person, I don't think that is limited to Black women. I think women across the board.
Well, I'm just offering that as an example for your relationship piece. There could be another thing like you're in a work situation and you feel like your male counterparts and your white counterparts are getting promotions and you're not, and you're wondering, is it because I'm a double minority? Whatever the source of anger is, I think it applies. I'm just saying that when we get frustrated, when other subgroups, if you will, men, white people or what have you, when they get angry, it's like, okay, they're angry. Sometimes when the Black woman gets angry, she an angry Black woman.
I think that maybe that perception occurs if as a Black woman, you really have to go off on someone in public. But the scenarios that you just stated, I mean, those can be handled, in a way that you don't have to, unless somebody takes you to that, you don't have to go off just because somebody comes at you sideways. There are ways to diffuse.
I guess I'm an angry Black woman then because I was going off in public.
Right. You may not be angry yourself. You may not be angry yourself, but what I'm saying is whoever witnessed you doing that could have possibly labeled you as such. That's the point I'm making.
Sure, they possibly could label you as that because, quite frankly, all of us have had situations where someone has said something or a sales clerk has done something or something has happened out in public and it was just your day. And okay, today you gonna get it, and you give it to them and embarrass your family, your children, whoever's standing there with you. They're like, Jesus Christ, can you please?
My kids aren't embarrassed. They're like, come on, Ma, here you go.
Right, oh Lord,
here we go.
Right. So yeah. All of us have those moments, I think.
I just raised the question because there is a stigma.
Well, when you said angry Black woman, I was thinking about the woman that always walks around looking mad. Like when she wakes up in the morning, she is mad.
That applies.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, that applies. Whatever it is, a scowl on your face or what have you, whatever it is that gives people the perception that you're angry applies.
And I guess in that case, it depends on what she's so mad about,
Yeah, what? Right. That may be a relationship. A relationship might not be working. It may be finances that make her walk around looking like that all the time. It could be, she may be sick. It may be, her kids are giving her fits. You just never know.
Right.
And it could be any combination of things that make somebody just...
So in a relationship sense, I'd say, no, you don't have the right to be angry. If somebody wakes up and they're just mad day in and day out because of some deeper issue, then maybe they have the right to be angry, but it's probably not healthy and they need to deal with whatever is causing that anger. So that they can live a healthy life. So certainly, I guess in that case, you have a right to be angry, but why would you want to be? Like, This is your life. You get an opportunity to live this life. Why would you want to live it angry?
Right, and waste those precious moments being angry.
And I think one of the people on Facebook talked about that, get therapy. He pointed to several options. If you're having some issues, you need to address them.
Work through them, right. And I firmly believe that if you are having one of those moments in your life, you may have the right to be angry, but you don't have the right to inflict your angry self
on others.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those people that are just looking, you say, good morning. What you talking to me for?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Pause. Pause.
All right.
We need to try this again. Right. You don't have the right to inflict that on other people.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. So now it's time for the mailbag. Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. Sherry, 26, sent us a message, and this is the question. Well, the dilemma. She says, I'm in love with my boyfriend, but he's married. He says he's going to leave her and marry me, but it's not that easy just to get a divorce. But we've been together going on 6 years, and we don't hide our relationship. Everybody knows we're together, and he says he wants to be with me and marry me. He just has to get a divorce. What should I do?
Well, what does you want to do?
Anytime have those kinds of situations, it's two options. You're either going to stay or you're going to go. The reality of it is most of the time men don't leave. But there are those few, but everybody knows a story about somebody who does. So she just, right. I think Tom's said it right. What does she want to do? What is she willing to do? If she's been dating him for 6 years.
So she was 20 when she started.
Yeah.
Because you said she's 26.
6 now.
So I guess my question, and I'm sure we don't have all this background information, is how did she come to be involved with this married man? And why is it for 6 years she's been okay with this relationship? And why after 6 years is she now saying, hey, I don't know what to do, when for 6 years she's been okay.
And apparently they're open. She says everybody knows.
And does that mean that if she does get the prize and gets the man, he's going to treat her with the same level of respect that he's treating his wife? If they're open about it, that means he's not being very respectful to his wife. So is he going to then turn around and do the same thing? Does she really want him? She needs to think about that.
Okay, so Sherry, this is me now. Sherry, if he is married, he is not your boyfriend. He does not belong to you. And if it's been 6 years, first of all, in the state of North Carolina, in order to get a divorce, you need to be separated for a year, not living in the same dwelling. That's it. You go down to the courthouse and you file for divorce.
Pay your little fee.
It's
easy to get a divorce in North Carolina.
It is very
after
easy.
A year.
It is very easy. Now, if you are his world, then there is no wife. He clears the slate so that he can be there for you and with you exclusively. What I'm saying is, if you're going to sign up off top being number 2, you're going to remain number 2. And I believe that's why you're still number 2.
Because she agreed to it.
Yes. There's no pressure. Where's the pressure to go ahead and get that divorce? People do what they want to do.
Right. A grown person does exactly what they want to do.
And you've got to love yourself enough to know what's acceptable for you. What's the best situation for you? And yeah, there are cases where husbands leave their wives and this and that. It's not likely. It's not often. So
no.
So you just need to understand, Sherry, that actions speak louder than words. And
if
so
he hasn't left after 6 years, he's probably not leaving.
Right. And then the question becomes, well, how long are you going to remain in that situation before you decide, hey, you know what? I love myself too much for this. I'm not going to spend another day playing second fiddle. That's my advice.
I have heard of some women, and I thought it was a little odd, but I watched the show one night, and they had women that basically prefer being in relationships with married men, and I thought, that is just ridiculous. But they said they preferred it because they didn't have to do the wifely things. Basically, when the husband or their boyfriend came to see them, it was for fun and entertainment. and they weren't obligated to cook, clean, and do all of the things that a wife is obligated to do. And I thought, wow, that's pretty deep.
It is deep.
So I close my eyes, work and stay on. It's a must. I go from dusk till dawn. Cheer.
I mean, that right there just left everybody speechless. Y'all still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you, Joan. He's probably not going to leave. So Sherry needs to move on. Well, she needs to move on just because she shouldn't be with this man who's married to another woman.
Right.
But she needs to move on for herself and probably should have never gotten involved. But she needs to do some soul searching to figure out how she came to that point.
Yes, and hopefully avoid it happening again in the future. You know, like I said, Sherry, learn to love yourself. You're worth more. You deserve more, and you need to expect more and be more. So that's all we have time for this episode. It has been fun, you all. I have laughed tonight.
Yeah, it has been fun.
Somehow I feel like it was all because of me that you all laughed.
Tyrone in the house.
But before we go, Joan, gotta tell everybody how to follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tell them where they can find us.
Well, of course, certainly. You can find us on Twitter at Sistanomics, Sistanomics. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Sistanomics. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher if you have Android or PC or the internet. We are all over the place.
Awesome.
So check us out.
Yes, check us out and come and look for more discussions on Facebook. I want to give a shout out to all the people who have liked our Facebook page this week. It just sprang up this week. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's followed us on Twitter. We really appreciate the support, and we're going to be back next week with more from Sistanomics. See you next week, everybody.
Good night.
See you next week.
Bye.
Are you an angry black woman? I mean, really?
Leave me alone.
Bye. Oh my God. Okay, just put her up
Okay.
Bye.
Just cut me out.
No.
I ain't got to be on this saying bye.
Well, guess what? You are, and these are going to be in the outtakes. This is going to be on the end of the show. Everybody, this is my crew. I love them to death. They keep me in stitches, and we will see you next week. Peace.